Hey, everybody, welcome back to the podcast. It is the Daily. It is Freaky Friday, and we have a special guest once again, maybe the most special guest this time of year. It is new Ohio State signee Luke Montgomery, not Berm. He's always part of this, and he and I are going to talk to the offensive tackle, highly rated, and a new member of the Buckeyes. Luke, first of all, congratulations, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Berm, of course, has been pestering you for probably 4 years or so now.
3.
So he's trying not to jump in right here because I know he's got a lot of things to say, and you've known him obviously much longer than you have me.
I got nothing to say. I just want to, make sure that people understand that the work that Luke put into this class should not be forgotten. Ryan Day talked about that on Wednesday at the signing day press conference. Luke, for your perspective, when you get up there and you're watching it, I assume from home or wherever you were, was it cool to finally hear the coaches be able to talk about you and talk about you publicly instead of having to act like it's some secret that you guys know each other?
I think it was pretty cool, just the fact that he gave us all props and stuff like that. That's just a part of it. I'm super relieved that everyone signed yesterday, and we got a really good class, and I think people are starting to realize that in a way because a lot of these schools are getting a lot of guys, and maybe they are doing it the right way, maybe they're not, but we know for sure that us Big Ten schools, most of us at least, are, especially Ohio State, we're doing it the right way, and we still have a top 5 class, and I feel like people need to realize that we did that without selling bribes of money and stuff like that.
Look, let me ask you just before we dive. I don't want to spend too much time on this topic because I know it's something that is a hot button issue, but how frustrating was it for you? Because you have been the de facto leader of this class since you committed. How frustrating has it been to feel like you were so close on a handful of guys that you felt very solidly wanted to join this class, but ultimately decided they just couldn't? How hard was that for you guys when you're building these relationships?
Yeah, I think it was really hard, but that's just the recruiting game. I don't know, we almost felt like us kids that were committed almost felt like coaches in a way. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some, and it's just that day and age where it's tough. I mean, a lot of aspects go into the play now of where a kid wants to go to school, and I think, like I said, I think we ended it with a great class, and I think something that people need to also realize is development in Ohio State is crucial, and it really does not matter about what the stars are. And if you really want to worry about the stars, then see us with the top 5 class that did it all the right way and stuff like that. So I just want people to relax and just hop off that, find something else to worry about.
Yeah, Luke, there was a lot of negativity, and I was trying to talk Berm off the ledge this week. It's not that bad. According to Rivals, and it's not the only recruiting service, the per player average for Ohio State is number 1 in the country. That seems pretty good. You didn't sign 30 players like some others, so the overall rankings are skewed. But as you're talking about, Luke, the 20 of you that are on board here, all pretty good players that are going to help Ohio State. And I think that probably there's a lot of pride in that amongst your class is what you're getting at.
Right. Yeah, 100%. And it's just, I think it's a special class in general. I think we all want to be there for the right reasons, and you can't make that better. That's what a brotherhood definition is, and the culture, and it just shows the culture at Ohio State. And I think there's a couple other schools like that right now as well, and that just do it the right way. And we're gonna lose some kids to some things, and maybe it was the right things that maybe that school just fit them better, but maybe it might have been others. We don't really know. I don't want to get any too anything because there's no reason to. But I'm happy for those guys because I still talk to them and I still have relationships with them even if they went to other schools, and that's the beauty about just the recruiting process now, and especially that portal's open because you never know what's going to happen in the next couple of years, and those kids might end up coming to the Ohio State because we were the second option to probably half the recruits in the country, to be honest with you. It just seemed like it at least. So
Luke, the relationship game is something that you've been very, very good at from the start. I wrote a story about you 2 years ago when you got offered by Ohio State about your little black book of everyone that you have gotten to know, not just in the college football recruiting process, but because of your time playing AAU basketball with LeBron James's program in Ohio.
Yep.
You, more than anyone else, I think, understand this landscape, and that's why I wanted to make sure that you were on this show to talk about it. But when you deal with all this stuff, how was it for you personally to have to? I mean, did you get these sort of pushes from other schools, or was it because here he is, you're Findlay, Ohio, you're center of the class, you're the leader? Did people sort of just say, "Hey, we know that this isn't going to work in this case," and back off?
Yeah. Honestly, I think if I showed them a little bit of, I think I showed a lot of resistance to that and just told them no. After I committed, a couple guys still reached out. I would say the normal suspects. But after that, I just told them, thank you very much, thank you for your time, but I'm really locked in Ohio State, and I wanted to make sure they knew that I really took the time in the process to make sure Ohio State was the right school for me. Like, I didn't just jump on board right out of the gate. And I think that's a huge reason of why I'm here right now, obviously, still, is because, like, I'm not going to leave a school once I'm committed. If you're committed, like, that's the definition of a commitment is, like, you're not going to leave. Like, that's not, you know what I mean? But obviously that's changed now. And, I'm a huge believer in just, if you're going to commit to a school, you got to stay there unless something catastrophic's happened. And obviously, Ohio State, nothing happened. So why would I leave? Like, it's a great spot for me. And I think the other 19 commits are the same exact way.
Luke, when you're in a, I don't know, commit or signee now group chat with the rest of your class and those Buckeyes, how many notifications per day are we getting on the phone?
A lot. I think we're all really excited, especially my guy Caden. Caden McDonald's he's a I don't even know, dude. He's so funny. He's always blowing up the phone, or Bryson Rogers. He does too, and Noah, and just Will, Josh, Austin. I mean, the whole crew. Miles. I mean, obviously I talk to Miles, Josh, and Austin. That's a daily basis. I mean, we have our own group chat. We know we're gonna be all rooming in about 14 days together. So. I'm glad we've built the bond there, and it'll be a fun couple years with them.
Is it hard to believe that that's 14 days away for you?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I've been trying to work at my best with conditioning, just like working out. I work out in the mornings, and then I work out in the afternoon. But they've told me nothing. As much as you try, like, you're not going to be used to it here because it's more of a mental game. So I was like, yeah, I can see that. So it'll be an interesting first winter, I'll say.
For you guys, when you start to think about you, Austin Saravell, Josh Padilla, Miles Walker sharing a dorm room in 14 days, what's your biggest concern? Like, what is your? Are you just worried that someone's a slob? Are you worried that someone's just disgusting and doesn't clean up after themselves? How many conversations have you guys had about, dude, you just need to not smell or something like that?
We've had a good amount of conversations just on the fact that I was like, I'm not a big go out guy, and I think thankfully they're the same exact way. I'm like, you guys better not be going out on freaking three week nights a weekend, like stuff like that. Like, I can't do that. I'm gonna put the do not disturb sign on my door, and I'm gonna lock it. And if you're not back by this time, he ain't getting in. So you better find somewhere, some girl's house to stay at or something. But I just think it's fun. I think
that's part of college too, Luke.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, but I think we've built a really good bond, and we're all pretty similar in a lot of ways, which is obviously really, really helpful for all of us. And I think we bought our whiteboards, we bought our stuff. We're going to study together, obviously, because it's a lot of not only physically but mentally exhausting. And mentally, we're going to have to figure out a lot of plays because you never know where that dude's going to line up in front of you. It makes just a tiny bit difference, and your whole blocking assignment or pass pro assignment becomes different as well. So I'm excited to share a room with these guys. It'll be pretty fun.
Bill Landis has joined us. Let's just dive in because I know Bill wants to talk about serious things, but I have one more question before we get into the X's and O's of college football and playing offensive line. Who's going to be the chef in your room? I mean, did you guys figure out who cooks, who cleans? How do you know that going into it?
Miles, he's a pretty good chef, and I was like, you better teach me, man. Like, I know how to cook some eggs, and I do these nice Hawaiian like roll things with the glaze of some garlic sauce on them, which are pretty good, but that's about it. Like, I know how to maybe do some burgers and stuff, but like, I heard Miles is hyping himself up. So if he's any trash, then there's gonna be some problems. Because
has he said what his favorite, like his go-to dish is yet?
He does a lot of T-bone steaks, he says, and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, man, okay.
Yeah, they do it big in Connecticut, Luke.
I bet.
cuisine hotbed.
Bill
It's the
Landis,
barbecue
as I
capital
said,
of New England.
yeah, Bill Landis is with us, and Austin and I, Luke, are sort of like not savants when it comes to offensive line play. Bill considers himself
Definitely not.
A learned offensive line watcher. On Monday, we were talking about the signing class, and I mentioned to Bill that I thought your NFL future could be at center. And I've told you this before. You know that I believe that I watched you play one game at center in your junior season, and I said, man, there's a future here. And Bill said he's been thinking about that ever since. So I want to let Bill kind of ask you about stuff about the offensive line before I continue to ramble about dumb stuff.
Well, I appreciate that, Berm. I'm not I wouldn't consider myself a savant, Luke. I'm just an appreciator of the craft, and I feel like you guys don't get enough attention for what you do, and I like to shine a light on that.
I appreciate it.
So listen, like I know you want tackle is the glamour position. I get that. You should get your start to try to play tackle. But if I told you that I thought you might win a Remington Trophy, would you find that offensive?
No, not at all. I mean, I'm open to playing any position. Honestly, I really don't care what it is.
Okay, good, because Berm has spoken into existence, and he mentioned the name Jason. He mentioned the name Jason Kelsey. You're bigger than Jason Kelsey. Though Jason Kelsey is like 6'2".
I think like I'm up to right now. I think I've grown a little bit more. I'm probably like 6'5.5" right now. Like no joke.
It's getting close.
That's pushing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm up to like 290. I weighed like 296 yesterday, so I'm getting up there.
You're going to be as big as Dewan soon.
Oh, I don't know if I'll be that dude's. I don't even know. 8th wonder of the world.
Here's things people don't know about Luke, that your brother Ryan obviously is a 2025 quarterback at Findlay who has an Ohio State offer, looking at Georgia, Ohio State, Tennessee. But you might have a better throwing arm than Ryan, correct?
Oh, I mean, accuracy-wise, heck no. If I could throw if I get a nice spiral on it and it doesn't duck, then I could probably throw farther than him. Yeah.
But I mean, I've seen you chuck it like 70 yards. I know you can throw it. Have you been working on a tackle like pass play?
We had one in called the Johnson, and it just never made it past practice. So, but we did have one in.
I like how Berm said he was going to turn it over to Bill to talk about offensive line play, and then only let him ask one question.
Yeah,
and then decided to start a sibling rivalry on the podcast.
Yeah, why does your brother stink?
Bill, go back and get into the serious X's and O's business.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I think this is fun. I didn't have very many serious X's and O's questions. I guess I will ask you this. Look, like when you try to project out your future, like you want to start at tackle, right? I think everyone wants to kind of get that shot to start at tackle to see if that can take. How, I guess, throughout this entire process, as you talk to Ohio State and other schools, I guess, like how open were you to potentially not playing tackle if it came to that, or are you like, I got to do this. This is I'm locked into this. I got to try it and make it work.
No, I'm open to do anything, honestly. I actually played. I think I played guard. I played guard most of the season last year, and then I played center twice in 2 games, and then I played tackle, and then I played right side. I played right tackle, and surprisingly, over this past year of just working on technique stuff with some of my coaches, I'm starting to feel like the right side is more comfortable, which is odd in pass pro, and I think I've gotten really good at the right side, and if not better than the left side, which is odd. And which is obvious. There's nothing wrong with that. Like both sides. Now I can play both sides. I feel comfortable in 3-point, 2-point stances on the right and left side, and I'm just eager to see where I'm at when I step on campus. I mean, Coach Day and Coach Fry are pretty set on tackle, and if that changes, and I really don't care. Like it's all right. I'll just play whatever.
Luke, take me back a year and a half to when you were still deciding if you wanted to play offensive line versus defensive line. What ultimately was the deciding factor in your mind that said, I do feel like I can make it on the offensive line?
Well, my dad kind of pitched at me, you can be right now, right now you can be a really good defensive tackle, or you can have the opportunity to be a great offensive lineman. And just as my body progressed and how I saw myself progressing, I felt like I was very versatile and athletic. as a defensive tackle, but I also think I was even more versatile and athletic as an offensive lineman. And I just had the body structure as one. And I think overall, just the opportunity, I think there's a better opportunity for me to make it past college as an offensive lineman.
Luke, you mentioned like you don't know exactly what's going to happen in 14 days when you get on campus. And I'm trying to phrase this the right way because like there have been some former Buckeyes asked me about the tackle situation and if you could start as a true freshman. And I said, I don't know. My philosophy generally is that on the offensive line, you don't want true freshmen to be starting. And that's not to say that you don't have the ability or that other players don't. And I know that you probably have confidence in your ability, but what is actually like your mindset and what you think is realistic going into year one?
Well, I told my dad actually yesterday to stop sending me that stuff because I don't want to get big headed in any way. Like, dude, stop. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm at the bottom of the depth chart, and that's where all freshmen start. And I'm blessed to have Paris as my mentor, and I can go. He's told me I can go to him for anything, like just on reading different blitzes and coverages and stuff like that to see where blitz is coming from, and because he also struggled when he first started as well, learning that stuff, and his mentor was Michael Jordan, so he's just passing that heritage down to me, and honestly, I think my main goal is to just be obviously starting. Everyone's main goal to start, but a more realistic goal I feel like is too deep, and just for the next man up. And I'm just glad I get to learn behind a couple guys this upcoming year, and then hopefully take over. But that's why I'm coming in 6 months early, is to give me that real opportunity of okay, well maybe if I can pick up stuff fast more mentally, then Coach Fry will put me out on the field faster. And there's been a lot more talks actually on one of the packages for me to come in at that tight end position next year where Fryer used. And I think I can do that for sure as well. So I'll be interested to see what happens in about 7 months.
Everybody loves to be a Bison.
Oh, heck yeah. Bison package. Yep.
How are the hands?
To be honest, like, I'm just gonna be honest. Like I'm a tight end. I play tight end. So in middle school, I didn't sophomore and freshman year, but I blocked. But yeah, what better would it be to score a touchdown? I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably end up getting a flag if I did. But it'd be worth it.
Luke, you were a very active basketball player. I mean, that sort of mindset is similar to that role where you're in that Bison package. Have you thought about what number you want to wear on your second jersey if you were in the Bison package? Because
41 very appealing, isn't it?
No, I mean, well, Josh wore 41, Donovan Jackson wore 41 a year ago. That's sort of becoming like the Bison number, but at Ohio State,
it's like the block O, only better.
Yeah, it's like the furry O.
100%. What fan would want to buy a number 41 jersey? That's so exciting.
Hey, you know that this is an opportunity, Luke, to learn a little bit about Ohio State football history. Keith Byers, who is probably the guy who got screwed by the Heisman vote more than anybody in Ohio State history in 1984 when they gave it to Doug Flutie because he completed one pass. Keith Byers wore number 41, and no one's really taken it over on offense since then. Josh Proctor obviously wears it on defense, but it is an opportunity for you to go out there and say, hey, I'm going to make this my own. Imagine the NIL opportunities if you're an offensive lineman catching passes in number 41.
That'd be pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. Like, we'll see though. I mean, that's a ways away, but I'm not. We'll see. We'll see. Going back to what you said on what number I want to wear. If 55 is open, that'll be number one for sure. But I was thinking I was talking to Toby. I think like 51 or 52 would be pretty good number for me. I really don't I'm gonna stick to whatever number I get, unless it's like 67 or something like that. Then I'll have to change. But if it's like low 55, 52, 51, those three options, those are my three options. Whichever one's open.
Everyone loves the double nickel.
Yeah. Because that's free jersey number. You can't lie. Don't lie.
Yeah.
I think that's a dope number. I'll be honest.
It's got to be weird, though, because in some way, I think the Ohio State coaching staff is really hoping 55 is taken next year. by a guy that's currently on the roster who wears it.
Hey,
so that's a debate for another day, I guess.
Hey, I'll be fine if Matt comes back. That's fine with me. I have it, man. Like, it's all yours.
Bill, do you have anything else, or have we pestered Luke Montgomery enough for a Friday right before Christmas?
I just wanted to mention, Luke, that 3 of the highest paid offensive linemen in the NFL right now are right tackles, so he could be onto something.
Good. We'll see. Like, I'm very interested to see, honestly, where I'm at in about 5-6 months, like going into after summer camp.
Well, the next time that we'll get to talk to you is generally the traditional signing day in February, where we'll get to hear about the first 4 weeks of workouts and how much you're enjoying waking up early to go get in there with Mickey Marotti. That's one of our most fun days of the year, catching up with and meeting in a lot of cases for me, the signees, but you've got that to look forward to. We wish you a happy holiday, Merry Christmas. You have to give a score prediction for Ohio State and Georgia, and then you can go.
Well, I think, honestly, I'm guessing 42-35 us.
That was the score of the 2014 Sugar Bowl against Alabama, just as a it's possible. It's possible. Hey, I have one more question for you. 2 more, actually.
Buckle up.
I like to talk, Luke. What is the one thing you really want for Christmas this year? Since we do need to talk about the holiday. Yep. Number 2, if by some chance your brother decided to go play college football in Ann Arbor, how does that potentially strain your family for a couple of years? And
you had to put those 2 questions are not the same.
No, I really want to make Luke think here. And I know, because in the process you were not telling him, hey, go, you're not saying follow me, you're not saying do whatever. But are you at a point yet where you're saying go anywhere you want except there? Have you reached that point yet?
Yeah, I 100%. First question, I'm not a big gamer, but I want to get a PS5, so I'm hoping I get that. Just for the fact that there's nothing to do in the summer when you're locked in your cellar, so I got to find something to do. So I'll get a console. And second one, I mean, like I was telling Coach Fry and them, I'm like, listen, if he goes to Ann Arbor, Coach Larry better have a package for me to take him out on the defensive side. We need to run a game up front and just light him up and stand up. That'd be the best. We'll put on my wall everywhere in my house. Make sure when he comes in for Thanksgiving stuff, like later years, he just does that and terrorizes him. But yeah,
so
honestly,
you are willing to play defensive tackle for one game.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yep. Let me go. Let me terrorize him.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that in the Montgomery household, but yeah, I guess we'll see what transpires. Either way, we know that Luke is coming to Columbus. He'll be there in 14 days. He is very excited about the number 1 ranked per player signing class in the country at Ohio State. Luke, congratulations again. Thank you for your time. He is Luke Montgomery. That's Bill Landis, Jeremy Birmingham. I am Austin Ward. This has been Freaky Friday on the podcast. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.